All right, I am live. Okay, so I put out a post there on my socials and everything else saying I was going live, and there's a bit of an announcement. So here's my announcement. Let's sort of go through this stuff of what's going on. Maybe you watched my last couple of videos on the Skylark, especially the last one where I found out that the trunk was a lot rustier than I originally thought it was. That and a lot of other stuff. This thing's going to cost me a lot of money to finish. And as I've said in a few of my other videos and posts, I'm not sponsored. I'm not paid. All of this stuff comes out of my own pocket. I sell car parts and car stuff in order to fund what goes on here in the shop, and I don't have anything to sell and I haven't sold anything for a while. So right now the well is dry. So I would need all those trunk supports in the back of the trunk. Really it needs some other stuff in the floor pans and that, some other rust repair. I really wanted to paint it, so that would cost a lot of money. All the brakes, I thought I had brakes for this car already. I thought that I had bought all new brakes, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't, but I guess I never bought them. I do have some front end parts, but a lot of stuff that I would need, and especially a radiator. Going on Hot Rod Power Tour, everybody says make sure you can keep your car cool. You know, it's going to be hot where it is, especially it starts in Atlanta. I would miss that, but I would need to keep this car cool. Because I poked the hole in the radiator, it's going to cost me a lot of money to get another one to put in there. So basically, we're not going on Power Tour. This year, it's just not going to happen. I've got a family event that is really special and important that I need to attend. So that event sort of trumps everything else, which meant that I wasn't going to be able to make it to all of Power Tour, so that's why I was going to make it to the end. But with that and all the other sort of small things on this car, I'm not going to make it to that event. I'm not going to make it to Power Tour this year. So we're going to plan better and try for 2024. But what I am going to do this year is I'm going to try and get the Mercury up and running and get it ready for the Kustom Car Revival that is in Indianapolis. So that's June 10th, and a heck of a lot closer to me than Power Tour is. So I can make it down there quite easy to that event. And I'm not going to say I'm definitely going to go, but I'm going to try. I have everything for this car in terms of running gear, unless this motor turns out to be junk, but that's okay. You know, it's an LS. They always run. So I've got all new brakes. I've got all new suspension. Other than the actual, fancy interior and side glass, the front glass, I'm going to use the original glass and chop it down. The side glass, I don't know what I'm going to do for that just yet. But that's really the only thing that I don't have is side glass. At the end of the day, I'll throw Lexan in it or something for side windows. So that's going to be the plan. I'm going to get back on working on this, and I'm going to get back on working on the C50 as well. I'm going to finish up the mounts for the cab on that, get the motor put in there, get the rear end set up properly and mounted in the truck properly. So I'm going to go as far on the C50 as I can before I need to spend a pile of money on it. And the Skylark is just going to sit for now because I really want to do this car nicely. I really don't want to throw it together. I don't want to just throw a whole bunch of Bondo at it and, monkey it together. There's no point. So I'm going to still work on the Skylark when I get fed up with everything else. But the number one priority going forward now is going to be back on the Mercury. And that's the plan, is to hopefully have it done for the beginning of June. So I can take this to the Kustom Car Revival in Indianapolis. And at the very least, my next goal would be to take this to the Jalopy Jam Up, which is in August, which is even closer to me. Gives me a little bit more time. So if I miss that Kustom Car Revival, the Jalopy Jam Up will be my next goal of getting this car out and being able to drive it down there and take it for that show, which is in Rockton, Ontario. It's a really cool show. Even if you're in the US and you're relatively close to the Ontario border there, you know, if you're coming up from Buffalo, anywhere in New York, you can make it over from Michigan as well. It's not really that far over, but it's a really, really good show, great show. Friday, starts Friday night, Saturday, and then basically you get out of town on Sunday, or you can just show up for the Saturday. That's the biggest day. Show up for Saturday, maybe hang around for the bands and that, and then take off after that. But that's the plan around here. That's what's happening. Unfortunately, Hot Rod Power Tour, I know I was trying my best, but just a lot of stuff has come up, and like I say, that family, you know, family is most important to me, and hopefully it is for everyone else. So I really want to have my full focus on that event that needs to happen and not be worried about getting out of town and rushing down to Power Tour. So this year it's just not in the cards for me, but next year definitely we're going to plan a little bit better. Again, I will still try to take the Skylark on that because I just want to. I think it's the event for that car. So we'll try working towards 2024 Hot Rod Power Tour. And you never know, maybe it'll be out at some local cruise nights around here if I get it done. But that's the plan, and that's what's happening around the shop here. So I'm going to stop talking and start working on the Mercury. Take care.